Here's how to get set up for your students with ESL with Purpose, the English as a Skilled Language platform, words that open doors at work. When your students sign up, they're actually going to see the daily text here. They're going to get this lesson sent to them, and they'll get something similar to this. They'll get a word, they'll get a sentence, and if they sign up for the 120 days phrases, they'll get the link to the video, and they'll be able to practice those lessons. For the vocabulary ones, they'll be able to do just audio listening of the word. And then after 7 days, they'll be able to get some practice quizzes that send to them. They can also text back with any questions that they might have. And so it's a very valuable resource for your students. You can also select what industry you want them to focus on. So if your class is going through healthcare English, if your class is talking about manufacturing or hospitality or another type of English topic, you can select that and have them work on those outside class. This is just a highlight and an overview, but I'm going to get right to it and show you how to get started. You can go to the organizations page for organizations. You will click here and just click Start My Free Trial. And if you're an organization, you get a 22% discount. Individual students, if they want to continue on their own or they want to share with their friends or family in another country, they can just tell them it's $9 a month. But if your program wants to get a discount, it's just $7 a student per month. And you'll click Start Free Trial. You'll fill out your organization's name, your organization type, and your information here, and you'll be able to start the free trial. What happens once you start the free trial? Let's say you're an organization and you signed up for this. What do you get to see? Well, on the back end, this is an example. I'm using my own as a test organization, but you can see your billing, your monthly costs. And again, it's free to sign up for 30 days. You can test this out with your program and students to see if you do get some learning outcomes for them. And if you do want an extension, just let me know. You have to email me at alex@eslwithpurpose.com. But once you're in the dashboard, you can manage the different students that you have. You can download the template, so that way you upload the CSV file correctly with a name, phone, and email. It should work just fine with just those 3 columns if you've already created that for your students. And then when you upload the students in the template, you can just assign them to a new class and click New Class. And you can create the name of that class, such as Level 5, career, or whatever you want to name the class, and you can just save that. You'll see Manage Classes, and now it's going to show the Manage Class option, and you can see the different students in this class. These are test students, but once you have a student, you can assign them a different career track. You can have multiple students on different tracks, or you can have all of them on the same one. Now, I just assigned myself to a class. You can see that here. That's how you assign yourself to a class. You create the name of a class, and then you just assign them a class. And the other option you have is the view. You go to view, you can view that student's progress individually. This is the analytics you'll see actually on your end. And if you want to generate a certificate for them when they complete, you can. You can track their time, the quiz that they've taken, the tests that they've used, and their streak on all these things. And then once they go into their dashboard as a student, or even as an organization, you can access the flashcard activity, even the dice activity here where you can roll the dice. And the students can match these words, and so you can say don't on take too much, and if you do that, it's going to tell you that, okay, nope, that's incorrect, we're going to try again. So don't take on too much, great job. You can go on to the next phrase and play this activity. There's several other activities I created for you as an instructor. You can do these in class, like a crossword puzzle to review some of the phrasal verbs, or you can also do a card match activity where you can have them to test, or addition is to try out. Next card, and you can do different combinations of how you want this to play out. And then this one, we're giving away free examples, so they match the word or the phrase and definition. So like show up means to arrive or appear, and they can review this in class. You could have different students logged in to their own dashboards that way. You can also manage teachers as an organization. Let's say you have 5 different ESL teachers or 10 different ESL teachers, and each of them have their own class. Well, as an organization, you can add another teacher. You just put in their name and email, and they will also get access to this. You can also create some access codes where you can create a new code. And once you do the access code, if a student wants to log in or they want to try and get started, and they click Start Lessons, they can put in their access code, their name and information, and you can just give them the access code, and then they can sign up themselves with all this information, and it will tie them to your class and your organization. Now, if you want to just upload your students yourself with a CSV file, that's where you do the organizations page here, and you will go back to students. And so Again, you have a new class. You can then upload students. And how do you do that? You just upload CSV. Here's the template. So when you download the template, it's going to give you the option to put their name, their email, their phone, and their class. We're going to save this file. Then we will go ahead and upload the CSV file again. So you should be able to see students and the track that they're on. So if you're managing students, one thing you want to do is you'll click in your dashboard, students. You'll be able to add a student individually. You can type in their name, their email, their phone, which teacher they're assigned to, what class you want them to be assigned to, and then the day and time you'd like them to receive information. So you add all the information, you would click add student, and then they will appear below down here in the student dashboard. And then you can track which student gets what information. For example, this person, I'll say myself, I'm on the vocab pack. I'm in the level 5 class. I have been assigned to that class. If you want to change some things for your student, and you want to switch their learning track, you just click the 3 dots next to view, and you can say switch track, and that will allow you to pick the different options for the student. Now, the phrasal verb 1 has the video lessons currently. The rest of these language packs are audio vocabulary with an example sentence and a definition. And so it'll send them a review quiz after 7 days, in addition to a review exam towards the end of the 100 lessons. This one will have a couple different ones, but on these smaller packs, you'll get the exam. And then once they complete that, they can print a certification that will allow them to have that and say, hey, you completed and mastered these specific words. You can also review them in class as an activity when you do meet and review those together. If you do run into any issues, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. But those are some different options you have. You can also assign a teacher to the student. So you can assign this teacher to this student, and then you would click Save Assignment, and the teacher would know as well in their dashboard that they would have the student. And then you can extend access if they need to learn for another 30 more days. You can extend that again. And how to set up billing, you would just go to Set Up Billing. So if you want to continue beyond the 30 days, you would just then pay here. You would use Stripe. I use a secure checkout with Stripe. And so you would have to go through this process. And then it was just that per month, per student, based on the number of students you have that month. If that changes, feel free to let me know. But that would happen after the 30-day trial that you have working with me here. Any questions? Feel free to let me know, and I can do a custom demo for you as well live. But I just want to give you this example so you can see the options you have in the different phrases and examples that are covered. You can go to go.eslwithpurpose.com and see what it looks like. And in the dashboard for students, they'll see this activity, and they'll be able to practice different things for their lessons. They'll be able to take a quiz too. And this is what that quiz looks like. So when a student is taking a quiz on their mobile phone, this is on desktop, which they can do as well if they log in on the desktop. But on their mobile phone, if they get that link from the daily lesson, it's going to give them this review of the last 7 days of the 7 words that they learned. So they'll be able to say, what does take a step back mean? It means to pause and reassess the situation. Great. You can check. What does wrap it up mean? It means to conclude or finish a discussion. What does play devil's advocate mean? It means argue against an idea to test its strength. What does keep it brief mean? A list of topics to be discussed during a meeting. B, be concise and to the point. C, to unite efforts to achieve a common goal. Or D, appreciation for a quick reply. It means be concise and to the point. So we'll do that. And then you would see this. Students would be able to get this and they would show their information here. So if you go back to the dashboard, you can see the number of quizzes they have completed, their quiz history, and it should show their milestones and their progress. So this is what the student would see, and the student can change their settings. The other option you have in your settings dashboard, you can select your preferred time you want to receive the lesson, the time zone you're in, and if you want to get it by WhatsApp only, email only, just a US mobile number only, WhatsApp and email, or a US number and email. So you get to choose what you prefer. I will say when you do change this, just make sure that if you do choose WhatsApp, that you check it within 24 hours and respond. That way it will continue to accept lessons every day for you. So if you want to help students improve their workplace English and the words we actually say in context that's maybe outside your grammar textbooks, you want to check out go.eslwithpurpose.com/organizations so you can upskill your English learners and help prepare them for workforce readiness and start your free trial today.